bad general leaving the building of a
Yo, yo. Met her on the north side of the River Thames. You're a boss, sweet voice like Thames.
us. Hey, look at us.
Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
Less than two crew squad. Welcome back in. Hope y'all are doing well. Hello, hello, hello. Let me say hello to the early chatters before we get into things too deep here today. Jen, welcome in. Robert Tubies, hope you're doing well. Ambi, thank you so much for the 55th month here. Appreciate you. Blondenstein, welcome in. Hello. Chrissy in the building. We got Jordan. Thank you so much for the 55 month, Jordan. Appreciate it. Bob in the building. What's good, Bob? Welcome in. Robert Tubies, I hope everything's okay with you as well. Thank you. Angela Marvel, thank you for the 56th month here. Appreciate it. Melissa with the 56th month. Also appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Melissa. Kansas, welcome and happy Wednesday to you. Rocco Rosie, hello, welcome in. Stephanie, appreciate you stopping in. Enjoy the VOD later. Welcome though. You're walking out from work and I can listen on your drive home. Perfect. Corey, welcome in. Cannabis, hope you're doing well. Red Wings with the 43rd month here. Appreciate you. Welcome back into Bob with 52 months as well. Thank you so much. And Tova, I know you get one prime sub, so I do appreciate you using it on me. Welcome back from month number 51. Thank you so much. Gina, welcome in. What up, what up? Sea Traveler, thank you for the 54th month here. Appreciate you. Thank you. Proud Sam, thank you for the 8th month. Welcome back in. Chalet, hope you're doing well as well. Tay Hufflepuff, hello. Ichiyami in the building. Taylor saying hello 2 weeks ago. Welcome in, Taylor. Hope you're doing well. Reality Alex. Hello. Sorry. I was getting very distracted with the music. Crochet Princess, welcome in. Atris, hope you're doing well. Jinx, what's good? I'm exhausted, but it's a nice break. What is a nice break, Jinx? Welcome in. We had 2 weeks till Big Brother season. This is true. This is true. This is true. All right. Okay. So I've been gone for a week. And not just gone, but like gone. Gone. I was not around for pretty much an entire week on stream. And some of you may know why, because I did send a message out to my lovely Discord. But some of you may not be aware as to why that is. So I've made the decision to share the why here on stream. Now, typically, the stream is all about vibes. It's about good times. We try and provide good energy, loving energy, supportive energy, but also fun energy. So starting on a bit of a bitter note, I'm going to tell you why I needed a break. Well, to be clear, I already had a break planned. Like I was always going to be gone from Friday to Sunday last weekend. That was always part of my plans. So my vision was I'll be done Promise Month all the way leading up to that Friday. Then I get up and leave for the weekend, go visit my friend, hang out, and then I'll be back on Monday and life goes on. We'll figure out what we're doing, more streams, get the podcast stuff sorted, get everything going and ready before Big Brother season. But, you know, sometimes things happen that are out of your control / you do not intend on them to get in your way, but they do. Now, whether that's physically or mentally, and for me, more often than not, mentally is where I will end up having some struggles. So, to say all this, also sorry, I don't know. Okay, anyway. What was I saying? Yeah. So let me talk about it now. So, in the last beyond about a couple weeks ago now, I was streaming one night, and someone in the chat brought up, "Hey, your parents live in Iran, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "I hope they're doing okay." And I was like, "What does that mean?" So I looked it up. I saw there were some attacks. And I was like, "Okay, it should be cool. It's fine. No biggie." Welcome in, Russ, and the Pirate Crew. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. Appreciate y'all. Welcome. As I am in the middle of explaining where I've been. Well, no, explaining why I was gone, not where I've been, to be more specific. But thank you so much, Russ. Welcome in, Pirate Crew. Hope y'all are doing well. Okay. So I'm fine with the music being on. I just need it a little lower. There we go. Not bad timing at all, Russ. Not bad timing at all. Welcome in. So I was like, damn, okay, so there's some attacks, but I was like, you know what? It should be fine. Hopefully, maybe not that big of a deal. And then it became a bigger deal. And then there was I was informed that they need to evacuate the capital city. Now, for those of you who may not know, my parents live in Iran. My mom lives in the capital city. So what do? First instinct, contact mom, see how she's doing. She's fine. She's currently at the point she was evacuated out, and she was like, okay, I'm fine for now, but I might be going back in a couple of days. I was like, cool, okay. So that started weighing on my mind a lot. It's a feeling I've never had to experience. It's a worry I've never had to have in my life. So all of a sudden to now have this be a worry in my head wasn't good. It was weighing on me. But also I was trying very hard to get out of that mindset, which was working because, you do enough things, you're doing other stuff, it goes out of your mind. But then people were actively both messaging me and bringing it up in chat, which was hard because I now found myself being reminded of it when that's happening. And as much as I can actively be like, it's all good, now that worry's back in my head again and I'm on stream. So it was a bit of a struggle for me to balance that out. Ultimately, I was just not in a good headspace Wednesday, Thursday, and I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I can't do this. So that's when I posted online that I was not going to stream. And I was like, I hope I come back on Thursday and we can get it done Thursday. But I still felt the same way on Thursday. So yeah, the other thing that you need to know about is that aside from the fact that that's happening, internet is being shut down. There's zero communication. I didn't hear from my mom in like 2 days at one point. And if any of you know me, you know that the number one thing I do well is overthink and over worry about the smallest things. So that wasn't good. That was a lot. But anyway. So then I was like, you know what? It's cool. Friday's coming. I've got this trip. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to de-stress. A trip that I've planned, which is basically a trip that has to do with nothing but resting and playing games and having some drinks and just hanging out. So that was good. That was nice. Also, by that point, I had heard from my mom very briefly, but it was enough to make me feel okay. So then Friday, I'm hanging out. I'm having a good time. Perfect. Saturday, I wake up. My mom left me a voice note. She's good. Perfect. So on Saturday, I'm feeling the best I have in like 4 or 5 days, right? And so I'm chilling. I'm having a couple drinks. I've decided, you know what? I'm on vacation. Let me have a little weed. So I'm indulging, right? And then it's like around 5-6 p.m. I am eating food. Got some takeouts. I'm eating food. I'm scrolling on my phone. And I start saying, well, first of all, someone had DM'd me that, you and your family are in my mind. And I was like, okay, that's out of nowhere, but cool. I mean, it makes sense. I was like, oh, maybe it's like trickle down or something. And then I'm on my phone. I'm just mindlessly scrolling socials, not sober, by the way. And I see that the US has attacked Iran. And my anxiety went through the roof. I was having a panic attack, not in a good way, which actually I say that there's no such thing as a good panic attack. So again, I'm like, that moment where you're at a party or you're hanging out and your mind has been switched off and your mind has to get force switched back on. It's kind of like if you're at a house party and the cops knock on the door and then everyone's like suddenly like, okay, we need to be okay again. Like it's that, but then just panic ensues and takes over. And I was like, okay, I'm not trying to like overreact. I'm not trying to like, but I need to calm down. And I was like, I need to calm down. I don't know how to do that right now. I don't think I can regulate a calm down. So I did the only thing I thought I could do, which was call Liana. And thankfully, Liana was available. So we talked on the phone for about an hour and a half. She calmed me down. I felt way better after that. But why am I bringing this all up? It's because my trip was affected by this also. Since the phone call with Liana, I felt great. I've been back. I'm good. Mentally, everything's good. But for like a good week there, chat, I've been battling a demon in my head. And the demon is this like panic, both panic and I can't do shit about it feeling, you know? It's like, all I'm doing is being sad when I can't do anything about it, but also I'm allowed to feel sad. So it's complex. It's a thing. Anyway, my trip was good. Other than that, it was actually a very good time. I really needed it. Then I came back home. I decided to not stream yesterday not yesterday and Tuesday. And yesterday we had the PAL. Monday I chose not to stream because I just gotten back. I was like, you know what? Let me take the day to unwind and like figure my shit out. So then we had Tuesday. I had a therapy appointment, which actually came in at the right time. And then I had the PAL. So I am leveled back up. I'm good to go. Now, this is something that I don't want to talk about on stream. Like, very openly. I don't, if I'm being honest, I don't want to bring it up. But also, at the same time, when you know my background, you're like, yep, dude says he's Persian, parents are Iranian. Let's put the twos and twos together. It's right there. So then it's like, understandably, I have a lovely community who are, you know, looking out for your boy, asking about it. So I felt like I want to let y'all know what happened, because at the end of the day, I have shared a lot about my life with you all. And whilst there are still a lot of things I keep private and like to keep private, this was one of those things that felt like there's really no keeping this private. So, but yeah. That's where I've been. That's where I've been. But yeah, we back now. We back now, chat, and I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Guillaume. Appreciate y'all. And like the one thing is, I could control, like with the difference. So obviously I didn't cancel any podcast I was on. I did all the podcasts. And that's because with a podcast, the formatting, the content is locked in, right? It's a Traders podcast about this cast. We're talking about the Traders cast. It's talking to the patrons, Q&A. We're doing the Q&A. It's like, those are like, they're locked in. What isn't locked in is this very open forum between me and you, right? That anything can happen, anything can come up. And yeah, anyway, I digress, chat. I appreciate y'all. Get the less than twos in one time. Let's do that. Woo! But yeah, now we're back. I'm home. It's been raining all fucking day today, so that's not been great. It is what it is, though. You know, it is what it is. I was gonna grill today, but fuck my time, I guess. So yeah, it's all good. Thank y'all for making it a welcoming space for me to do so. Rain is gonna cool things down. Well, not when I'm not barbecuing though. Has it been miserably hot there? No, not really. For the most part, the weather's been nice, like just breezy, but like sunny, if that makes sense. You know? But yeah, it's good to be back. So what have I missed, chat? What has been going on this week? Except for obviously Love Island, because I'm fully caught up on Love Island. Except for that, what have I missed otherwise? Give it 8 hours or so, then you can barbecue. That's what I'm hoping, because I bought a lot of chicken that needs prepping. So I think also the other thing that I didn't anticipate, chat, was the combination of doing streams and all the podcasts that I had to do before my trip really like came to a head last week. It was like the busy time again. But it was fun. I think all of it worked out real nice. All of it went smoothly. Grilling is what we call walking down the street in New York City. Can you explain what that means, Thundercats? What does that mean, though? You tell me. Heat wave in Paris since last week, so I don't want to barbecue because it's too hot. That's the other side of it. That's fair. That's extremely fair. I thought I got my AC fixed and it was working through the worst of the heat wave, but it is back to being broken. Oh no. It's excessively hot, so you grill as you walk. Oh, damn. It's been straight 100 for days? Really? Huh. Did I share where I went on my trip? No, I just went and visited a friend of mine that I've been meaning to like meet up with for a minute. So it was like, it was one of those trips where it was just like, we didn't do much. You know, you're just hanging out, playing games, playing video games, having drinks, chit-chatting, catching up, you know. Not sleeping a lot, just hanging out. That kind of energy. It reminded me a lot of my uni days, which I say that like it was a long time ago, but I guess it was kind of. Yeah. I'm so thankful. It's been cool in Utah. We got most of the quilts up for the next exhibit, and it's only just going to start going into 90s next week. Okay. We have heat advisories here. It's sweltering. I think we got a flash flood warning today. That's what we got. So, did it play fun games? Anything new? No. But I was able to play poker again after a long time, which was very nice. I did miss that. I realized it's a good time. Happy you got away even with the worry about everything. Thank you, Samantha. Yeah, I'm happy I was able to still do that, because that was the thing that Liana was able to like translate over the phone to me in my not so sober state was, well, you can't do anything about it and you don't want it to ruin your trip now, would you? And I was like, you're right, I don't. So yeah. Thank you, Corn Cobs. Welcome back to you. Yes, new Pooya and Liana launch tomorrow. I'm editing it tonight and you will have it available tomorrow, ready to go. Hey, thank you, Little Miss Andre. Appreciate it. Chat, real quick though. So I've been invited to go on a podcast on Friday, which normally I will tell you about on the pad, but I have been invited to go on the Love Island, or We Know Love Island podcast, aka the Love Island pod with Scally and Kirsten, which we'll be recording around when the pad would be. So I hope you're okay with this. We move the pad to tomorrow night. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's when the pad will be. Okay? So we'll do that. Then we'll do that. So instead of Friday, it'll be tomorrow. We got the pad, and then we'll go from there. Oh, they've promoted that already, Kiam? Damn, okay. I am their first guest of the season. I'm usually their last guest of the season. I'm usually the finale guy. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Can you play vaudeville soon? I think we're firing that up tonight. After a little bit of catch up with y'all, we'll see if it's working and we'll go ahead and do it. Thursdays are my Fridays, so I'm all good with that. There we go. That works out, respawning. Yeah. So a little bit of weird scheduling still this week. But Goose Goose should be back on Sunday. And then we'll be back to regular Friday, Sundays from next week. No problem. After 2 weeks of shambles, you know? Scaling Kirsten, that's not going to be chaotic. Listen, I would love for it to be chaotic. Because that's the best way to go about it with Love Island. Did I see the U.S. national team and Canada are playing Gold Cup quarterfinals in Minneapolis on Sunday? You know, I didn't see that. Why did I think the Gold Cup was done? Red Wings. What am I thinking of? Wasn't there a tournament that the U.S. like didn't make it to the finals of recently? Or am I thinking of something else? Isn't it a week till Big Brother? It is not. Big Brother is on the 10th. So not next week, but the week after is when we're going to start seeing some action. Double header. Okay. But yeah, we're about to get there. We're about to be all hands on deck Big Brother Station, chat. Which I know a lot of people are excited for. And then this weekend we have Squid Game happening on Friday, so I'm pumped about that. Put the finishing story to Squid Game, see how that ends. Also, I have officially finished The Devil's Plan Season 2. So I've done that. I'm caught up on Love Island. I'm doing really good on my shows. I'm caught up at the moment. 2 weeks from tomorrow. Yeah, there we go. Haven't started Love Island yet, but can you say if it's just as well as started last season? Last season was so fun. Ali, my take is that I still think last season was easily the best season of US Love Island. But I will say Love Island has shifted to this point where now everyone's talking about it on a daily. So it's made engaging with the show a lot more fun because you get to see a lot of takes and memes in real time. But also this season has been very fun. Frustrating at times, but also very fun. So hopefully not too much of that action. The sofa needs to be spared. Oh dear God, I got what you meant. The real Squid Game or the show Squid Game? Not Squid Game the challenge. The scripted show Squid Game. It's coming out with season 3. Apparently Traders is done filming or close to it. Well, that makes sense. It feels like that was 2 months ago when we found out the cast, even though it's only been like 2 weeks. Except for the spinoff that premieres in July. The spinoff of what, Cannabiscuits? Oh, Love Island. Never mind. Beyond the Villa. Beyond the Villa. Yeah. I just wondered, does anyone from Love Island actually stay together? I've not watched. Yes, there are couples that are still together from Love Island. Little Miss Andre, thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate you. Welcome back for month number 46. Thank you for using one Prime here on me. Chat, I've also had a realization. I think I have to not use the standing desk when I'm podcasting. Too many people talk about it. One of the funniest comments I've ever received on a podcast, I got in the comments for the beginner's guide to traders that I did with Annabelle, because I was standing for that. And the comment I got was, I hope Pooya finds a chair that he likes soon. Got done dirty. There are even Love Island babies. See, that I didn't know about. And everyone tells you to run like Terran 2, no? Which, that will never happen. But of all relationship shows, Big Brother doesn't Big Brother have the best track record? Yes, Big Brother does have the best. Have I ever done any Big Brother orgs? Yes. Yes, I have. Corn cobs. I've indulged in many orgs. Many orgs. And how did you place? The results didn't vary quite a lot. I have basically, in all the orgs I've played, the Big Brother formatted, close to Big Brother formatted one specifically. I don't know, chat. Let's see. I've come in second. I've come in first. I've come in first. I've come in first.
Look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
Yeah, I mostly win when I play. It's the reason why I don't play them anymore, because I don't want to, I don't want to be sad. Mom, that's why Pooya swerving around. Tell your mom that I'm a fidgety person, and it's soothing to me. It's just soothing. That's all it is. I don't think I'm some kind of villain or anything. Hey, Crows came in with the average draft placement, average finishing placement. So thank you so much, Crows. Welcome back for month number 56. Well, Love Island UK has seen several couples have babies. There have not been any babies born from Love Island USA couples. The most recent season of USA is still airing, and no couples from that season have announced pregnancies or had babies. Well, the most recent season of USA is season 7, no? BB27 Castaway from CBS. Is this the one where they're trolling? Yep. Bob, because you're extremely likable, that's why you win every time. No, to be clear, I've won because they didn't recognize that I got more going on aside from like friendliness. Once they know I can do menacing behavior, I feel like it's done. Thoughts on Devil's Plan season 2? I liked the Devil's Plan season 2. I thought it was a very strong season, and then without giving anything away, I just kind of feel like it fell off after a little bit. It didn't keep the energy I was looking for all the way through. But it was a very fun season. And it did motivate me to want to go back and watch season 1 again. Because I've not watched it in since it premiered. But which one is better? Definitely Devil's Plan season 2. Absolutely 100% Devil's Plan season 2. So that's what I'm saying, Walks Right, and that's the feeling I had. But it was very fun, the journey there. Like nowadays, I'd have to really fuck with the show to not do anything else with it. Now, granted, when I'm watching a show that's subbed, I need to pay attention. I can't do other things with it. Devil's Plan made it so easy for me not to want to do anything else but watch Devil's Plan. So it retained my full attention. Whereas a lot of other shows I watch now, it's kind of divided attention a little bit, you know? How about the Snake and Destination X? Check those out yet? I've checked neither out. I've not really thought about doing more, but I watched The Genius UK up to I think episode 4, and then I fell off. I think you like the Snake. Snake is great. Destination X is okay. How many episodes are out for the Snake? That also comes with a great both of those, actually, to be fair, come with great podcasts. 3 episodes? That's tempting. And that's gonna be on, if I'm looking for a streaming service to watch that on, that's gonna end up being on Hulu, right? Because it's a Fox show, and I feel like Fox shows show up on Hulu.
Not me.
Let me see. The Snake. Yep, it's on Hulu. Good to know. Have I watched The Naked yet? That's a show? The Naked what? And here, I think with the 16-month, appreciate you. Welcome back in to the Lesson 2 crew. Yeah, Genius UK, I watched the first 3-4 episodes, and then I fell off extremely hard. Oh, The Snake. Yeah, I'll check it out. That I can, let's see. Yeah, 3 episodes and what, 42 minutes an episode? Or is it an hour something per episode? I'm not through season 2. Really played to board gamers. The main games were board game coded. Oh, the Devil's Plan? Yes. Have you watched, The Secret Millionaire, was it called? Yes, I have watched that. And that was very fun. I liked it quite a bit. All of these new shows, and I still haven't finished Survivor 48. 4-door. If you put Survivor 48 on 2x speed, you wouldn't regret it. It's quick enough. Let's see. All of these shows, I just read that. It's like 40. What's like 40? How about Battle Camp? I watched half of the first episode and I never went back. Not because I didn't like it, but I watched it the day I was packing my computer and my room for moving. So I was watching it and then I was like, shit, I got to turn this off and pack. I'll pick it up later, and they never did. And then I got spoiled on the results. So it made it a little bit of an unlikely return for me. I've heard 48 is more enjoyable on the binge anyway. I would agree with that take. I think that's fair. 48 is underrated. I think it's overhated. I wouldn't call it underrated, but it's overhated. Do you see that Ika and Dimitri are going to be on Amazing Race Canada? Yes, I did. Just got the notification you're on. Welcome back. Thank you, Daisy. Appreciate it. Welcome back yourself. The Snake is about 45 minutes per episode. Oh, that's beautiful. I probably might dust that off tonight even. We'll see. I think 41 to 44 are booty. Respectfully disagree on that take, actually. I think that 43, I would definitely probably say wasn't my favorite. I thought 42 was a great season, and 44 I think is mad underrated. Where can you stream The Snake? Hulu, by the looks of it. Because it's a Fox show, so it'll be on Hulu the next day. 44 is my least favorite season of all time. Brother. Survivor Thailand exists. Survivor Island of the Idols exists. How can it be the worst of all time? Appreciate that, Cena Sucks. So you're probably not happy with one of the cast members of The Traitors then. The GCK had a great final three, great winner. Shame Brits were too dumb to like it. I say this as a Brit. It wasn't a good sign when they went from 2 episodes a week to be like, nah, one a week. It was like they were not, it's not going to carry. So I think that was it. I think that's the beginning and end of the Genius UK, sadly. I have heard about this pastor. That I have done. There's also Jet Lag Snake going on. I'm sorry, Red Wings. Is their show also called Snake? Extracted? I've not watched Extracted. I still haven't seen Survivor 5 and 39. They are the only seasons I'll die never having watched. I think your life will be fine. Oh, they're playing Snake in South Korea. Gotcha, Red Wings. Episode 4 of James Yu was the worst, and that's the one I fell off of after. 48 was really strong pre-merge, which make me prefer it to some other new era seasons. Also, I feel like the cast was great. Just wish there were more strategic moves at the end. And that's the thing, Ariane. I feel like the pre-merge, like to the point that it would be good on a binge, that pre-merge was strong as fuck. The post-merge felt like a month and a half of like the obvious results happening a little bit, which I think is what slowed it down for people. 21 and 24 are trash too. There's not a lot of like seasons where I'm like, oh, this was like ass for me. But I'm also like the type of person that'll just like be like, ah, it's okay. Finally watched Go Silent. Just got finished watching the Chris Noble elimination. That shit was hilarious. You're not wrong. Everyone in the chat post 5 or 6 shows Pooya hasn't watched that he needs to, because that won't stress him out at all. It won't stress me out. But I would beg you to think of it this way if you're gonna put in a show. Ask RHAP fan how that goes. If you're gonna tell me to watch your favorite show and I don't watch it, don't get mad at me. That's my only rule. Mole season 2. Listen, I just wish, Red Wings, y'all would have told me to watch Mole season 2 from the jump and not the Mole, period. Because then I would have watched that instead. America's Sweethearts. Who's America's Sweethearts? We did. Red Wings. Y'all pushed the Mole. No one said season 2 until after I finished 1 and said I'm not watching anymore. And then I was told, nah, you have to watch 2. 2 is where it really begins. I mean, I'm sure there's an argument to be made that y'all probably thought I was going to watch all of them, but... Oh, gotcha, Cannabis Kits. I'm going to watch Paradise. Paradise is still on my list, and I actually could watch that. I've been listening to the Star 50 Files. Your boy Brandon Don has been absolutely crushing it. Not surprising to me. Brandon's incredible. And it's about time he gets the respect that I know he deserves, you know? But no, to be clear, while I'm not surprised at the love he's been getting, I have also not checked out anything of the Survivor 50 Files at the moment. In my defense, I've been very much in the thick of the traitors of it all for the last like week and a half. So, the DCC docuseries is an interesting watch. Okay, I see. So y'all are that's the same thing that Cannabiscus was saying. Brandon went to the same high school and college as me. Oh, back to back, same 2 places. Cena Sucks. Start watching Department Q. I don't know what that is. You should really start watch From. Is From a movie or a show? Thank you, Jennifer. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we got a little bit of time, which is good. You're older though? Gotcha. So our 50 Files are excellent, but Pie Evergreen too. Yeah, I mean, and the other thing is the season won't premiere till like next till spring, so we got some time. But yeah, we'll do good. Okay, so fun fact. Someone added me over the weekend. Someone added me. Okay, so this is what they did. They added Rob, and they said, just a heads up, at Brandon Donlin is killing it on the podcast. We almost don't miss you. Hashtag RHAP, and then at a Mike Bloom type and at Pooyaism. And Mike and I were trying to figure out, was this person saying that all three of us are doing an amazing job? Or was them saying, no, Brandon's doing an amazing job, and I'm going to tag you two so you can step your shit up because you've been kind of okay. I don't know. But I was like, why are you adding me? But yeah. Individuals are watching a bro down. They truly still love each other. Lovely. After all of this time, unknown with the first time chats that Brandon's been amazing on the interviews. 100%. I think you got tagged just so you can see it. That's how I'd interpret it. That's how I did as well. I was like, this was just. But yeah, Cannabis gets to seeing it as more of an overall compliment. Do we know for sure if the U.S. trader doesn't go home immediately after being eliminated, or do they have to stay the entire 3 weeks? I have no idea, Daisy. I have no idea. Fishing for retweets? I mean, maybe. I have no idea. But it's nice. You know, again, I feel like the flowers are deserved. There was a post in Discord that one was on a flight back yesterday. Interesting. Well, here's the thing, right? Just based off of that news, Red Wings and Daisy, for your reference, if you hear like 2 more people in the next like 24 hours that were also on the comeback, then you know that they finished and they're all coming back at the same time. But I don't know. I feel like it's like late enough into the game that like if we've only heard about one person coming back, that they probably kept them all. I don't know. I know for the last season of Australian Survivor, Shannon and Mike Chappelle and you as rotating co-hosts for the podcast. Since we don't have a date, not an idea of the schedule for airing, can you please talk about if you might be on a podcast or this summer as only Big Brother, Pal, and 90 Day, which are a lot already. Nope. I am doing AU versus the world coverage as well with Shannon. Shannon's doing what I did with the Traders Pod, where we're gonna do a deep dive on each of the cast members going into this season. So I actually got assigned / picked who I wanted this week. When are we getting Traders Canada cast? I don't know. From an outside perspective, it feels like you and Mike Bloom are Rob's assistant managers, and it's like telling the boss and the higher ups the employee's doing well. That's a good interpretation, you know. I could see that. Do you see the official BB post Insta posted? Yes. And the producers are still trying to determine the cast? Yes. And I hope to have one in 24 hours. Do we think we will have a cast drop this week? No. I'm telling you, Blue Cheese, we are getting a cast drop the Monday. Okay. So historically, first of all, we've been looking at the cast as it drops live every season since season 23. So given that we've done that, and given the trends, the way they do things, I would anticipate the Monday prior is where I'm looking. So Monday the 7th or Tuesday the 8th. Those are the 2 dates I'm looking at as potential cast drop days, even if they lock the cast up or they finalize it this week. Historically, they do not like to give us a lot of time with the cast nowadays. So a little upset after last night's Love Island. Sierra and Nick were my favorite couple. Well, the good news is Tall Skinny Bet. It doesn't look like it's over. It does not look like they're going anywhere. Any news on a potential replacement for Amazon's crappy cloak? No, not at the moment. Right now, I'm trying to see if I can find the cloak I brought with me. That was that, you know, the Amazon one was too tight. Mine is too big. But let me find it. Wells Adams said they got sent home immediately. Curious because I saw Travis Kelce clip one today. Ah, interesting. So I don't know. Because it's hard to know if, like, because you're done. You could still not come back home right away, right? You can go see sites. You can go do some other shit. So we'll see. I think B26 was a day or two early because they taped it. B25 was the morning of the live premiere. Was it? I don't think BB25 was the morning of the premiere. Because we had time to do a draft prior to that, Red Wings. They're not going to give us time to dig for more than they did and ruin their cast. Right. I have enjoyed your live cast drop reviews. Looking forward to it. Hey, appreciate that, Blue Cheese. It's a very fun time for me to do that. It's a good time. What if I was like 2 days prior? Yeah, because typically what'll happen is we have very little time to do a draft in between getting the cast. I'm here late. Did you have a date for vaudeville? Well, depending on how I felt, I was gonna run it tonight. Do it tonight. Kind of dipping my toe back into the pool here and see how I felt. I'm hoping for a wider range of ages for the BB27 cast. I'm sick of the cast being filled of early 20s. Big Brother has given us no reason to think otherwise yet. So we'll see. I think Netflix is the place to be because they keep canceling shows on Amazon. Honestly, Rob, I feel like they cancel shows everywhere.
Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought?
I feel like they cancel shows everywhere. I feel like Netflix also cancels a lot of shows. Tara, thank you for the 55th month. You appreciate you. Welcome back into Lesson 2 crew. Are you going to do a show after each episode of The Traders? Yes. There will be a podcast after every episode of The Traders. I still don't know what the formatting looks like for that. AKA, I don't know if like it'll be with me and Rob or it'll be with me and someone else. But I will be there every week after Traders to talk Traders. For sure. What's left on the wheel for Promise Month? Just two things. Play vaudeville and a diss track on all of you lovely people watching right now. Glad Shannon will do a get to know player because of for the Traders are I don't know, everybody was still fun to be reminded why. I'm glad so. Yes. Well, that's what we're gonna do with the Traders as well, which is like last season we did it and it helped because we got like a reminder of how great and why we should be hyped on so many people. And then also it was an introduction to a lot of people we didn't know. So we'll take it. We miss you, Pooya. With your absence, I felt after season 5 of the OG Mole was announced to be its last show and how I felt when Whodunit was not renewed. Well, that based on what you're saying, I assume you mean you felt sad. So I'm happy to be back, RGA fan. I would think it would be awkward if it was with Rob unless somehow he was evicted early. No, because here's the thing. Like Carolyn had her podcast with Carson for the majority of the season and she was like making it all the way to the end. And so based on listening to those pods, Carolyn was not, all Carolyn was doing was adding stuff that was happening in the house, in the manor as it was going on, or her take on things and like what she saw during that time. She didn't give anything away. At least the episodes I listened to, I didn't feel like she gave away results or anything. But also I could see us doing that separately, that podcast separately, and then having the Thursday night episode be just a recap. So we'll see. Let's see. More than sampling, the OG Mall stopping was devastating. I think it's fine. I think it's okay. Thoughts on the Amazing Race cast rumors? I already know the cast. They're not rumors. I know the cast, Lori. I'm assuming this is... Yeah, it says Big Brothers. I'm assuming is what it is. Yeah, didn't we talk about this before? Pretty sure we talked about... Lori, where were you when we discussed this on stream? I'm pretty sure we dedicated a whole pad to this. I'm sorry. It's fine, Lori. You just found out that you were doing your own thing in April, but it's cool. It's cool. My take, it was not CBS. It's not CBS official. That's true. My take on it, Lori, is that some of these pairings I'm very excited for, and some of the pairings I was very much like ugh about. So that's kind of where I was. Your friend that loves Amazing Race sent you this today. Ooh, I see. Oh, they're gonna be pumped. There's an Amazing Race season coming in the fall, Corn Cobs, that is entirely compiled of Big Brother players and their loved ones or family members or partners. Oh, I see. So you were trying to give context. What? Okay, well, Corn Cobs, you click on the link Lori sent. How about that? That Tarcast is worse than Spire 44. I respectfully disagree. Genraz, thank you for the 17-month. You appreciate you. I keep seeing bits and pieces commenting on the BB Cruise and how bad it was. Some kind of scandal. Do we know what the tea? I have zero idea, Daisy, because I did not go on the cruise. And I don't know anyone personally that went on the cruise outside of like America, Corey, Quinn, but I've not talked to either of them in a minute. So, but yeah, I have seen the TikTok that Tomster's talking about though. So I guess a little bit, but I still don't know the full extent of things. But it just doesn't seem like it was a good move. All right. You also just aren't allowed to talk about it because of legal reasons. That makes sense. I don't know anyone who's go for 3 people. Yeah, but it's not like friends I'm in a group chat with or like talking to regularly, if that makes sense, Thundercats. But yeah. All right, chat. How about I leave this up to you? If you are listening, whether you're in lurk mode or you have another tab open, and you don't see me, I'm about to put a poll in the chat. I'm gonna leave it up to you here. See what your thoughts are. You have 2 minutes. Should we run vaudeville? If Rob sent you on the Trader's Cruise, you could have brought so much intel back to him. That's true. That is very true. For the most part, yeah, it's like the last 3 seasons. If no vaudeville, what then? We'll find out, won't we? I would have been purely up to you. I appreciate it. If I was not okay with either outcome, I wouldn't put it up to a poll.
This is great banter. It really is.
Katie, thank you for the follow. What was the thing I was most excited for on the wheel? You were so funny. Thank you, Walkside Crane. Thank you so much. The detective work was very appealing to me. What actually ended up souring me to vaudeville for a minute was they changed the, like, it wasn't responding properly. It wasn't picking up what I was saying on the microphone, which then made it unplayable for a bit. But it sounds like they fixed it. So we can see if we can solve the mystery now, the murder. All right, it's looking like almost a 2-to-1 ratio of yes, let's play it. So let me boot it up. But also, I'm going to stand up for this, and I hope that's fine with y'all. A real detective stands. Would vaudeville start from scratch? I don't know. The problem is I think I should be starting from scratch simply because I do not remember what I did. Because when's the last time I played it? Let me boot it up and see. Let me boot up Steam. Russ. Wow. Last time I booted the game up was June 14, 2024, so about a year ago. Fuck, I forgot to install the game and it's 10 gigs. Okay. I mean, we're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to try and install it. Hopefully it doesn't fucking make the stream slow the fuck down or anything. Alright, we did it. So... Because how much was the truck simulator we did the other last... Oh, that was 20 gigs. Maybe this will be fine. I remember Pooya getting frustrated with one of the characters and Vaudeville was giving you no info. That's true. Oof. What's the oof? Gotta run. Is Pat on Friday? No, Pat is tomorrow, Daisy. Tomorrow at 9. I switched it up because I'm going to be doing the Love Island podcast tomorrow night. Sorry, Friday night. My mind hurts for wondering how standing upsets so many people. It's because, and I don't blame them, it's because I can be very distracting. Like even right now, I move around a lot, which can be a lot to deal with. Already lagging? Is it? Well, it's almost done. It's almost done. No, shit. Yeah, there we go. It's done. It's done. Should be good now then. You shouldn't be getting any lag. Right? Okay. Put 3 exclamation marks in the chat when you hear me say this. Sounds good, Daisy. Take care. Okay. We're like maybe 10 seconds apart, but that's normal, I think. 9 p.m. tomorrow, 10 Eastern. Yes. Honestly, Rob, I didn't even realize there was another Jurassic movie happening. How many was Chris Pratt in? Okay. Oh, fuck. Pratt was in 3. See, I thought there was 1, and then I found out he was in another. I was like, oh, there's 2. Okay. I didn't realize there were goddamn 3 of those. No 10 EST tomorrow? Yes, 10 EST. 9 p.m. Central tomorrow. Damn, Jimmy on hella delay here by the sounds of it. Okay. Have I already been live for an hour? Who knows? It just happens like this. Yeah, Jimmy got lag. Jimmy, refresh when you hear this. All right. We go here. We do not need music anymore, so I can turn that off. And then we do this. We can play vaudeville. Should be fun, chat. Let's see how this goes. So in the event that someone here, Jill, thank you for the 56 month here, appreciate you. In the event that someone's new here and does not know what this game is, vaudeville is a game where we play the role of a detective that's coming into a town to solve a murder. Okay. solve a murder, and they have it set up where you can actively talk to the people. Oh my god. Okay, that is loud. I'm gonna mute it for a second. You can actively talk to the people in this town. Like it picks it up where it's like speech. So I will talk to the people and it will respond back to me. What the fuck is a detective? There we go. And it will respond back to me. So we have fun with it. You'll see what I mean in a second. It makes more sense to just look at it before hearing it, if that makes sense. All right. Welcome in, Raylatch. Hope you're doing well. Hello, hello. Glad the VOD is finally happening. We'll watch it in full when the light goes away here. What light? Okay. My notification came way late on my phone. I'm sorry, Jill, but I'm still here. Thankfully, still here. Okay.
A young dancer who moved like poetry in motion.
Oh.
Her life
I guess it's
cut
giving you a
short
story.
mid-pirouette. The socialite, a woman who knew the city's pulse better than anyone else. And then there was the businessman, the embodiment of vaudevilles promises of progress, snuffed out like a candle in the wind. The usual peace in vaudeville was off kilter, replaced by the discordant notes of fear and suspicion. Strangers viewed each other through wary eyes, neighbors turned to strangers, and every shadow seemed to hold a secret. The once vibrant city had become a stage.
All right, let's get through
the
this.
curtain
Let's
drawn
move
a grim
on.
Play of mystery and murder. In a city without
Let's move
harmony,
on. I want to play. Okay. Okay, options. Ray tracing, no. Resolution, fine. This is fine. Okay, that's all the options. Cool. Start. I guess that's what we're gonna do next. Start. Okay, so allegedly, according to this one, I did 83% up until last year, which is nuts. So the question is, do we think I can do that and finish the game? Or should we just go back into regular new mode? I'm trying to do my season 50 predictions and I can't nail it all. Also enjoying Brandon's coverage. Brandon is a goat. If y'all like the Brandon coverage, please let him know as well. Make sure he knows. But chat, what do you think? Should we try and map it out based on what we had started? Or do we go back to the start? Which one should we do? Welcome in, Aaron. Hope you're doing well. Which should we do? Part of me feels like, can we figure it out based on the 83% progress? I don't know. I feel, yeah. So, how many of you in here, actually, if you're willing to share in the chat, how many of you were here and saw this last year, and how many of you did not? If you don't start over, I'm going to dip. Wow, and hero, why? I say start fresh, but you don't have to finish it today. That makes the most sense to me, is to start fresh. Simply because I know a lot of you may not have watched it and some of you may not remember, and low-key, I don't remember. So, all right. Let's just do that. I like what you said, Walkstar. Start fresh, but if we don't finish it today, we don't finish it today. Let's do that. All right. Wait, did I press sandbox by mistake? Hold on. I fucked up. No. Quit. Yes. Oh, not quit. Oh, fuck. Okay. It's fine. We're fine. Let me just press play again. Okay. I was here but remember nothing? Yeah, we're all on the same page here. Like, if I had started the save that I already had, I would still have to go back and talk to everybody individually to try and piece things together, because I would have not remembered shit about shit. So yeah. Let's just start regular style and see where we go. See where we go from there. How about that? Oh my god, Ishiami, that sounds like a good time. Have fun. The VOD will be here when you get back from kayaking. All right, we don't need the story. I said no. Okay. All right, delete this one. Yes, delete this one, and then we go story mode. Okay. There we go. So we start from the police station. Yep, just like we remember him. Chief Gretzky, hello.
Detective Martini, welcome to Vaudeville. I'm glad you're here. We've got a nightmare on our hands, 3 murders in 1 week. I'm at my wit's end. Constable Jones and I are at your disposal. Anything you need to know, just ask. We're counting on your expertise to crack this case so I can finally get some peace before I retire.
Happy to help solve the mystery. Now, can you tell me about each of the murders individually?
All right. 3 victims, all brutally murdered. First one was a young woman found dead near the old windmill on the outskirts of town. No signs of forced entry or struggle, but, well, let's just say it wasn't a pretty sight. Second victim was a local businessman killed in his office at Graveson Manor. We found no witnesses, no leads. And the third was a street performer stabbed to death in a back alley near Saxabar's Theater. That one's been eating away at me, to be honest.
All right, let's take notes. All right. 3 murders. First one, a young woman found dead near the windmill on the outskirts of town. Second, fucking hell. Okay. Local businessman killed in his office at Graveson Manor. Okay. Third, street performer. Okay, circus. Street performer stabbed to death near Saxabar back alley. Okay, cool. Good to know. All right. I remember you getting jump scared here by the other guy. Wait, there's another guy here? Ah! Yes. Yep. Okay. I forgot about Constable Jones once again. This is true. This is true. Okay. All right. Is there anything linking the 3 murders to each other?
That's what we've been trying to figure out, Detective. On the surface, they seem unrelated, but I got a hunch there's more to it. All 3 bodies had some sort of symbol carved into them. Same symbol, different locations on the body. We're still trying to decipher its meaning. And then there's the fact that all 3 murders happened at night under the light of a full moon. Coincidence? I don't think so. But that's about all we've got so far. Not much to go on, I'm afraid.
What is the symbol that was on the bodies?
The coroner's been studying it, but I can tell you it looks like some sort of crescent shape with an arrow pointing downwards. Marcella Exteberia, our coroner, says it's some kind of ancient rune, but she can't quite place it. She's been poring over her books, but so far no luck. I've seen some strange things in my years on the force, but this is something else. You might want to speak with Marcella herself. She can give you more details. She's at the morgue right now, waiting for you.
Perfect. I will make my way there shortly. Thank you for your help, Chief Gretzky.
Don't mention it, Detective. Just bring me some answers. I'm tired of looking at these files and getting nowhere. And be careful, I've got a feeling this case is going to get a lot uglier before it gets solved. Oh, and one more thing, keep an ear out for any rumors about Saxabar's Theater. I've got a bad feeling about that whole operation.
Okay, so will do.
Just be discreet about it for now. I don't want to start a panic or point fingers without concrete evidence. But let's just say I've had my suspicions about Monsieur Saxabar and his unconventional entertainment. Good. Now get to the morgue and see what Marcella's found out. I'll be here trying to keep up with the paperwork. And Martini, try to bring me some good news for a change.
Shut the fuck up. Okay. I'm not going to go to the morgue yet. I'm going to talk to Constable Jones and see what he's got to offer. Constable Jones, what can you tell me about these 3 murders?
Well, I don't know. I mean, 3 people have been killed, yes. 2 days ago and yesterday. Bodies were found in different places. I think Chief Gretzky is really worried. He's been talking to Coroner Echevarria a lot. But, that's about all I know, sir.
One sec. Okay. You said 2 days ago and yesterday. Did 2 of these bodies die on the same night?
Why, yes, sir. I think so. I'm not quite sure. I was going to say that, but, let me see. Nicola Grossman was the first one and then Maria Jansen was the second one. They were both on the same day, April 14th. And then Haley Greenwood was the third one. She was on April 15th. Why, yes, 2 bodies on the same night, sir.
That's great information. Thank you so much.
Oh, it was nothing, sir. Just doing my job. I'm glad I could help. Chief Gretzky is counting on us to solve this case. I don't want to let him down.
Okay, I want to try and see if I'm... Okay, yeah, good. Because if I press this button on my mixer, I'll be muted for that. Because I feel like I need to be able to talk to y'all without having to constantly hit mute on the fucking screen. So that's good. So he's weird, but we got some good information. We got the name of the 3 people that died, and we've got the information from earlier. So that's good. Let's go ahead and leave here and go to the morgue. Okay, we don't have the morgue yet. All right, let's go back to the fucking police station. Can you drop the address for the morgue, my friend? Chief Gretzky, can you drop the address for the morgue?
I can't believe the state of things. People running around, killing each other like it's some kind of game. Disgusting. We should be focused on keeping the peace, not burying bodies. I'm not one for the newfangled ways of doing things, but I've seen a lot in my time. These tragedies don't belong in a place like vaudeville. We ought to be enjoying life, not picking up the pieces of shattered lives. It's a stain on our community, plain and simple.
Can I get the address to the morgue?
The morgue report from Coroner Echevarria is ready. You'll find her at the morgue. It's not far from here. I can mark it on your map if you'd like. I'll let her know you're authorized to see the details.
Not
of the
you'd
autopsies.
like.
Just be prepared for what you might find.
Can I get as many locations put on my map as possible?
Locations aren't my strong suit. They're all over vaudeville, but it's better to keep your focus on what matters. Right
Worth
now,
a shot,
we
chat.
need to figure out who did this and why.
Worth a
Maps
shot.
won't solve our problem, but knowledge will.
Okay. Here we go. Ah, yes. Coroner Echevarria. Nice to meet you.
Detective Martini, what brings you to the morgue today?
Okay, I think something's... I think I need to turn off my fan. I have a feeling that it's not hearing half the things I'm saying once again. The Chief Gretzky sent me here so that I could learn more about the dead bodies.
I was waiting for you, Detective Martini. Chief Gretzky called to let me know you'd be arriving soon. How can I help you with the cases?
You can tell me as much information as there is to know about the 3 bodies.
The 3 recent victims, Haley Greenwood, Nicola Grossman, and Maria Jansen. Each of their deaths presents a unique set of circumstances. Haley Greenwood's autopsy revealed no signs of foul play, but her body showed clear signs of prolonged illness. Nicola Grossman's death was a violent one stabbed in the back of the neck with a butcher's knife. And Maria Jansen.
Did she really not just expand on Maria Jansen at all? Okay, wait. Violent death, back of the neck, stab with a butcher's knife. Cool. Maria Jansen. Okay. Yes, what about Maria Jansen's body?
Maria's case is particularly disturbing.
Oh, here we
Her
go.
body had severe lacerations and bite marks, especially on her arms. One of her forearm bones was even fractured from the force of the bite. It's almost as if she was attacked by an animal, but I've never seen anything like it before.
Damn. You think like a vampire did it or something?
Oh, no, nothing like that, Detective Martini. While the wounds do resemble bites, I'm sure there's a more rational explanation. Perhaps an attack by a wild animal that somehow got loose in the city. But we'll need to run some more tests to determine exactly what happened.
Do you have any inclination on suspects at this time?
Not at this time, no. But one thing that does strike me is that despite the different MOS, there's a connection between the three victims. I'm not sure what it is yet, but I have a feeling that they're linked in some way.
Could it be the symbols that were found on each body?
You're referring to the symbols found at each crime scene. Yes, those are quite intriguing. They do seem to suggest a connection between the three victims, but I'm not sure what they mean. Perhaps there's some sort of signature or message from the killer. We'll need to investigate further to understand their significance.
Okay, and just so we're clear, you think the three deaths were linked, but you have no idea how they're linked.
That's correct, Detective Martini. The similarities in the symbol and the fact that all three bodies were discovered within a relatively short period of time lead me to believe that they're connected. But I haven't been able to pinpoint the exact nature of that connection yet.
Solid. Is there a zoo in this town or somewhere with animals that I can go see?
There's a menagerie near the Circus Saxabar on the outskirts of town. They have a variety of exotic animals, including some predators. It might be worth paying them a visit considering the unusual injuries on Maria Jansen's body.
Yes, that's exactly where I want to go. Can you drop the location on my map, please?
I'm afraid I don't have a map to give you, but I can tell you it's located north of here, in the general direction of the city's northern limits. Just ask around for the circus, and someone should be able to point you in the right direction.
Can you point me in the direction of the circus?
Let me just mark the location for you. All right, Monsieur Saxabar and his Circus Saxabar are situated at Circus Square 66.
Chat, if you are new here, the person we're about to meet is the bane of my existence. Ah, Monsieur Saxabar, hello.
Welcome to the greatest show in the world, Detective Martini.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm feeling like a lion in a spotlight.
I thought he was a one-word guy. So you feel like there's a lot of attention on you?
Absolutely.
That's not necessarily a bad thing, right?
It's a thrilling ride, my friend.
Yes, my friend. Now, what can you tell me about the street performer that was stabbed to death in the back alley near here?
I don't know about any streets, but the show must go on.
That's fair. That's fair. But they died very close to here, so I was hoping you'd have some information.
The only data I have is the roar of the crowd.
All right. Well, have you lost any of your animals recently?
I'm a master of my beasts. Never lost a one.
Have any of your animals ever bit anybody?
My lions are gentle giants, nothing but love.
What can you tell me about the 3 murders that have happened in this city?
The stage is set for greatness, but murder. Not in my circus.
Yeah, just outside your circus, though.
The spotlight stays bright on Circus Saxabar.
Besides lions, do you have any other animals here?
Monkeys and acrobats, a true menagerie.
I swear I'm hearing an elephant in the background.
Elephants bring charm to every spectacle.
No, this guy's still fucking annoying, chat. Okay, what can you tell me about Haley Greenwood?
Haley was a star, a shining light gone too soon.
Were you familiar with her?
She dazzled under our big top, a true gem.
What does dazzling under the big top mean?
A performance like no other, where magic meets wonder.
Did Haley ever have problems with anybody that you know of?
Gossip and drama. Not in my realm of marvels.
What can you tell me about Nicola Grossman?
Nicola Grossman. Never heard of him. Now, let's talk about tonight's show, shall we?
What can you tell me about tonight's show?
Tonight's spectacle will leave them breathless.
See, me personally, I wouldn't use the word breathless when we're discussing 3 people who no longer breathe on account of they are dead.
Life pulsates with excitement, detective. Death is but a fleeting shadow in my vibrant world.
What can you tell me about Maria Jansen?
Maria, a socialite gone too soon. Tragedy, but the show must go on.
What else do you know about Maria?
I only know of her charm and grace, nothing more. Now, let's focus on the wonders of the circus.
No, let's focus on the charm and grace of Maria Jansen. How did she charm you?
Her presence lit up the tent like fireworks in the night sky.
Did her... What kind of tent? Oh, God.
The grandest tent you could ever imagine. Quite an experience, really.
Are you talking about your tent?
A marvel of artistry. A canvas of dreams, if you will.
I know, dude. Sounds kind of sus to me.
What can be suspicious about beauty and wonder? Art is meant to inspire.
Were you ever involved with Haley Greenwood?
Haley, a brilliant dancer tragically lost. But let's not dwell on sorrow, shall we? Tonight's performance awaits.
Mr. Saxabar, I am a detective. I have to solve this murder. So when you say let's not dwell on the sorrow, I have to dwell on the sorrow. I have to figure it out. So I need you to answer my questions, please, and thank you.
But where's the thrill in endless questions? Let's talk about the magic of tonight instead.
One of your animals bit somebody.
That's showbiz, darling. Animals have their moods. All part of the spectacle.
So tell me how Maria Jansen got bit by one of your animals.
She had an unfortunate encounter, I assure you. But accidents happen in this world of wonders.
Can you retell the story of the unfortunate encounter she had, please?
It was just a fleeting moment, nothing more. Now, let's talk about tonight's performance.
Unfortunately, I'm a lot more keen on finding out the performance that your animals had on Maria Jansen's body when they bit her. Please tell me what happened on that night.
It was merely an accident. The show must go on, my friend.
Can you tell me what happened with that accident?
An unfortunate mishap. Accidents occur in this line of work.
I'm about to have an accident in the form of my fist hitting your face if you don't fucking answer my questions, dumbass.
There's no need to discuss this.
There absolutely is need to discuss this because 3 people died, man. 3 people died. One of them got bit by your animals and is dead, making you and this entire establishment suspects. Don't chat back to me.
This is quite shocking. Accidents do happen, but 3 deaths. How dreadful.
Now tell me about Maria Jansen and her accident.
Such a tragedy. Maria was a vibrant soul, but accidents are part of the show. Let's move on.
All right, so I went ahead and talked to... Monsieur Saxabar, and apparently there was an accident with Maria Jansen at the circus, but he will not disclose what happened to me.
That Saxabar, always up to something shady. An accident, more like a cover-up if you ask me. Maria Jansen's death was brutal, and for him to be hush-hush about it raises more questions than answers. We can't let him sweep this under the rug. Keep digging, detective. If he's hiding something, we'll get to the bottom of it.
How do we get him to open up, though?
We might not be able to force him to talk, but we can apply some pressure. Look into his background, his connections. People like him don't operate without a web of support. If we can find something to leverage, he might just crack. Remember, he's not above suspicion, and we have a duty to uncover the truth.
Who are some of his known associates? We're figuring some stuff out, chat.
Saxabar associates with a few characters
We're figuring
of
some
interest.
shit out.
There's Victor Potter,
Oh.
an investor with a questionable reputation. Then there's Biagio Ferrari, another entrepreneur. Keep an eye on them. They could lead us to something more sinister at play. And don't forget about Count Nikolaj Graveson. These types often run in circles, and you never know what skeletons they may have lurking in their closets.
Hold up. Why does that name sound familiar? Oh my god, wait, is he the local businessman that died? Nicola Grossman? No, that's Gravison. Okay. Count Nikolai Gravison. Is Nikola Grossman and Nikolaj Gravison the same person?
Nikola Grossman was a 57-year-old man known in the finance world. He had a bit of a presence. His body was found outside Pascal's grocery shop. Something doesn't sit right about it. We need to dig deeper into his connections and what he was involved with.
Can you point me in the direction of the grocery shop?
Pascal's Groceries is downtown near the center of vaudeville. You'll find it on Old Warehouse Street. Best to check it out. It might lead you closer to the truth behind this mess.
Constable Jones, what can you tell me about Mr. Saxabar?
Well, I think Mr. Saxabar is. He's a circus director. You know, the kind that, well, he puts on shows and stuff. But, I have a feeling he might be up to something. Sneaky, maybe. Like a cat with a mouse, you know. Just a hunch, really. I mean, it's just my opinion, but, I guess you never know with people in vaudeville.
Alright. We unlocked the new spot, chat. We unlocked the new spot. We haven't gotten any closer to solving this as of right now. All right. Let's go here now. Okay. And then see. Mrs. Potter? Hello.
Oh, how lovely to see you. I'm Mrs. Emily Potter. It's been such a dreary time since Victor passed. Life feels so much heavier, doesn't it?
When did Victor pass?
It was just last month during our trip to India. Such a strange twist of fate, isn't it? One moment you're enjoying the sun, and the next, everything changes.
Who did you go to India with?
We were quite the group, really. Count Graveson, some charming investors, and a few artists. We had grand plans for a traveling show filled with odd artifacts and talent from all over the world. Can you imagine? But now, it's all fallen apart, like a delicate house of cards.
What were the names of some of these artists that were on the trip?
Names, dear. They escape me like a fleeting breeze. But you know, it's not really about the names, is it? They were all so talented and vibrant, like stars that have now dimmed. I suppose I just missed the thrill of those moments, the laughter and joy. Now, I'm left with echoes of the past, and it's rather heavy on my heart.
Where can I find Count Graveson?
He's always at his manor, you see. Graveson Manor is quite a sight on the outskirts of vaudeville. But honestly, I'm not sure if you'd find him there right now. He tends to wander about, chasing after peculiar curiosities. But alas, I'm afraid even his eccentricities can't lift this gloom I've been feeling.
Can you drop me the address to his manor?
Graveson Manor? It's located west of vaudeville. Such a lovely place, really, though I do wish I could find some joy there again. Everything feels a bit shadowy these days.
Why do you keep tugging at your hat?
It's just a little habit of mine, I suppose. One attempts to look presentable, even when the world seems to be draped in gray. A hat can hide so much, can't it?
Okay, chat, let me build you a world here. Okay, here's a scenario. So, 3 people have died, right? Technically 4, but one died in India. That's Victor Potter, her husband, dead. The other 3 died in this city, 2 on the 14th, 1 on the 15th. All 3 had a symbol on them, kind of weird. Anyway, Maria Jansen got like destroyed by bite marks, so we're thinking animal was involved, right? So we go to Mr. Saxabar. Mr. Saxabar gives us jack shit. Then we go back to the police station. We're like, hey, tell me more about Mr. Saxabar's associates. They named 3 people. One of them, Victor Potter, deceased. The other, some businessman called Biagio Ferrari. We don't know where he is. The other person is this Count Gravison, who also went on this trip with Victor Potter there, and also she mentioned artists were on this trip. I think Mr. Saxabar was on this trip. I think Maria Jansen could have been on this trip. I think the other one, what's the other one? The artist that died. I don't remember her name now. But there's a couple of things. So we have some stuff. Let's go here. Count Gravison, how are you? Well, that didn't work. Hello.
Good day, Detective Martini. Welcome to my humble abode. I've heard a great deal about your exceptional detective skills. Quite the reputation precedes you.
What have you heard?
The whispers of a string of murders in our beloved vaudeville, and how you're leading the investigation. Fascinating, really. I must admit, I'm intrigued by the whole ordeal. Do tell, how's the hunt for the killer progressing?
What's got you intrigued by this ordeal? Tell me more.
The thrill of the unknown, I suppose. As a collector of peculiar items, I have a certain affinity for the darker side of human nature. And these murders, they seem to have a certain je ne sais quoi, a flair for the dramatic. I find myself wondering about the mind behind such atrocities.
What can you tell me about your trip to India last month?
India. Yes, I did travel there recently, along with Mr. and Mrs. Potter and a few other investors. We were exploring the possibility of starting a new venture, a traveling show featuring odd artifacts and artists from all over the world. A fantastical spectacle, if I do say so myself. We wanted to research the feasibility of bringing something like that to life.
Can you give me the names of the investors that were on this trip with you?
Let's see. There was Mr. and Mrs. Potter, of course, and Nicola Grossman, I believe. And then there was Biagio Ferrari. Ah, yes, that's right. Those were the main ones, if I recall correctly.
Hello.
Hi. I just came to say hi. Are you solving it?
Well, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good luck.
Why?
What do you mean why? Because good luck!
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I want to solve it.
Do you need anything?
Can I get water?
Yeah, in what container?
I have a water bottle by the bed.
Yeah, you want me to fill that?
It's like half full. You can just bring that.
Just bring it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I also heard there were some artists on this trip. Can you name those people?
We did have a few performers and artists join us. There have been some tragic events in vaudeville recently.
Fix it, chat.
3 people have been murdered, if you can believe it. Maria Jansen, Nicola Grossman, and Haley Greenwood. Such a terrible shame.
Can you give me the names of the artists that were on that trip to India with you?
As I mentioned earlier, there was Haley Greenwood, a talented dancer. And then there was, well, I'm not entirely sure if I should be sharing this information, but I think it's already been established that she was with us, Maria Jansen.
So all three of the people that were murdered were on this trip.
Good heavens, yes. I seem to have stumbled into a rather uncomfortable coincidence, haven't I? It appears that 3 people who were part of my trip to India are now deceased. Nicola Grossman, an investor, and then those 2 lovely young women, Haley Greenwood and Maria Jansen. What a dreadful turn of events.
Did anyone on this trip have relations with any of the 3 people who are dead?
Well, I suppose it's no secret that Maria and I had a certain understanding. And as for the others, I think it's best if I just say that we were all quite familiar with one another, shall we?
Was this an orgy trip?
I don't think I can do that.
Was this a swingers trip?
I'm not sure if I should do that.
What was this understanding between you and Maria?
Maria. She was a lovely young woman and we shared a certain connection, shall we say. Nothing too terribly serious, just a brief infatuation, really. But she was a charming companion, and I must admit, her passing has been quite distressing for me.
Where were you the night that Maria was murdered?
The night of the 14th, you mean? Ah, yes. I was at a little poker game at the Coral in the Lights District. A few acquaintances and myself were indulging in a bit of friendly competition.
Who are these acquaintances you were with?
Just a few friends, really. Mr. Potter, for one. And, of course, his wife, Mrs. Potter. We had a lovely time, actually. The evening was quite enjoyable.
Did you have a threesome?
I'm sorry, but I cannot answer that question.
Why not? It's just 2 bros talking.
Yes, of course. 2 old friends sharing a friendly game of poker. And perhaps a certain understanding about keeping each other's company. Discreetly, of course.
Were you discreetly getting it in?
Oh, detective, you're a sly one, aren't you? Let's just say that Mrs. Potter and I have a deep appreciation for each
Bro,
other.
this man's fucking everybody! Now, you said you were playing a game with Mr. Potter and Mrs. Potter, but wasn't Mr. Potter already dead?
Yes, of course. Mr. Potter passed away in India, didn't he? Yes, a tragic loss. But, no. He wasn't with us that night, obviously. Must have gotten my wires crossed. It was actually Monsieur Saxabar who joined us for poker that evening. Yes, that's right.
Do you think it's nice that you're sleeping with your friend's ex-wife, or widowed wife, rather?
Well, detective, that's a rather personal matter, don't you think? Let's just say that Mrs. Potter and I have found comfort in each other's company during a difficult time. And as for Mr. Potter, well, he's no longer with us to express an opinion on the matter. Is he?
Are you implying that dead men tell no tales?
Oh, no, nothing like that, detective. Merely a figure of speech. Although, between you and me, it is quite convenient that Mr. Potter is no longer around to complicate matters, isn't it?
I must ask you, how did Mr. Potter die in India?
Mr. Potter. Yes, a good fellow, a friend and business partner of mine. He passed away in India, as you mentioned. A tragic accident, really. We were all quite shaken by his death. We had big plans for a venture together, you see.
So, Count Gravison, I'm noticing there are 2 cigars on either side of this coffee table. Who was here before I joined you?
Those cigars. Just a little something I was enjoying with a friend earlier. But I must say, speaking of friends, sometimes Mr. Potter could be a bit rude with his wife. Yes, he had a bit of a temper, and poor Emily would often find herself on the receiving end of his wrath.
Who was the friend that was here earlier having the cigars with you?
No one of particular importance, detective. Merely a social call, nothing more. But I digress. As I was saying, Mr. Potter could be quite difficult to deal with at times. His outbursts and whatnot. Not exactly the most pleasant fellow to be around when he was in one of his moods.
Who was the friend that was here earlier having cigars with you? I must know.
Fine, if you must know. It was Biagio Ferrari. He stopped by for a visit, and we shared a cigar or two. Nothing out of the ordinary, I assure you.
Where can I find Biagio Ferrari?
Biagio. Ah, yes. He's a bit of a busy fellow, always on the move. I'm not sure exactly, but I think he mentioned something about meeting with some people at Pascal's Groceries. Yes, that's right. Pascal's Groceries. You might find him there.
If I turn around, will he be there? No, this is Pascal. This is not him. All right. We're going to ask Mrs. Potter what she can tell us about Biagio here. How are you doing, Mrs. Potter?
I'm managing, dear. Though, to be honest, the grief still feels like a weight on my shoulders. Victor's passing has left such a void in my life. But I'm trying to find solace in the simple things: cooking, playing bridge with friends, picking mushrooms in the woods. Those quiet moments bring me some peace.
You know what else can bring someone some peace? Some good dick.
Good heavens, detective. I think that's quite enough of that sort of talk. I'm a lady after all. Let's please keep the conversation civil.
Count Gravison was talking about how you two share a bit of an understanding.
Well, the Count and I do have a certain appreciation for the finer things in life. Our conversations can be most enlightening. But really, that's all there is to say about that.
He said that you two share a relationship.
Detective, I think
Oh my God,
that's
Jill, I'm
quite
so
enough.
sorry.
The Count and I are simply friends, acquaintances, nothing more. Victor's passing has left me vulnerable, but I assure you, my relationship with the Count is purely platonic.
I fully believe you. You mentioned that you play bridge with friends. Which friends are you playing bridge with?
Just the usual circle, dear. Lady Regina, Mrs. Bottomley, and occasionally, if she's in town, Baroness von Schwango. We gather, play cards, and gossip about the latest news in vaudeville.
Dear Lord.
Quite harmless, really.
Mrs. Potter plays bridge with Lady Regina, Mrs. Bottomley, Baroness von Schwango. That is not how you spell that, but I'm not going to go back and fix it. And you mentioned you pick mushrooms. Where do you do that?
The woods, of course. The woods surrounding vaudeville are simply teeming with the most wonderful varieties. I do adore a good mushroom hunt, especially after a spring rain. The forest floor is like a treasure trove, hiding all sorts of hidden delights.
Can you point me in the direction of this woods?
I'm so terribly sorry, but I don't know where to direct you to find those exact woods. I'm afraid I'm not quite sure where they are in relation to anything, really.
Are these mushrooms edible?
Oh yes, some of them at least. As an experienced mushroom picker, I can assure you that vaudeville's woods have some of the most exquisite varieties. Of course, one must be careful to avoid the poisonous ones. But if you're fortunate enough to find a few choice chanterelles or oyster mushrooms, they are simply divine in a risotto or sautéed with some fresh herbs.
Tell me about the poker game you played with Count Gravison and Mr. Saxabar.
Dear, there was no poker game, detective. We may have played a hand or two of whist, but that's all. Count Gravison and Monsieur Saxabar are acquaintances, of course, but we don't exactly socialize in that manner. Besides, Monsieur Saxabar is far too busy with his projects, whatever they may be.
Surely you must know about some of his projects, given that you were talking about going into business with him and some of the artists.
Yes, well, there was talk of a potential business venture, yes. But as for details, I'm afraid that's all rather hush hush. Let's just say that Monsieur Saxabar has a certain fascination with taming animals. But really, that's all I know.
Could you possibly tell me more about Mr. Saxabar and the taming of the animals, as it could be prudent to have that information to solve the murders?
Fine, if it's absolutely necessary. All I can tell you is that he's been working on some sort of exotic animal act for his circus. Something about a particularly ferocious creature he's been trying to tame. That's all, truly.
Do you know what kind of exotic animal?
No, I don't know the specifics, and even if I did, I'm not sure I'd be at liberty to share. Monsieur Saxabar was being rather secretive about it all. But I will say that he seemed quite enthusiastic about the project.
Alright, let's pretend that I'm playing a game of bridge with you, Lady Regina, Mrs. Bottomley, and Baroness. What kind of gossip do you have for me?
Well, darling, have you heard about Lady Regina's latest acquisition? That stunning emerald necklace she's been flaunting. Rumor has it, it was a gift from a certain dashing young officer. And not exactly from her husband, if you catch my drift.
Which officer?
Good heavens, I shouldn't be spreading such rumors, but let's just say it's someone from the Vaudeville Police Department. A rather handsome and charming gentleman, if I recall. But do keep this under your hat, won't you?
I'll keep it under my hat like you keep yours under your hat.
Ah, I confused myself. What did you say again?
DJ Danny, welcome in. This game is called Vaudeville. I'm a detective trying to solve the murder of 3 people in this town, and I'm talking to the people around the town to try and solve it. Now, here's the thing. I don't remember much about this game because we're playing it from the beginning, but what I do remember is that this guy was the town gossip. He had a lot of information, so we're going to get it. Pascal, my man, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks for asking. Although I have to say, it's been a crazy morning. I found a body outside my shop, can you believe it? Nicola Grossman, poor guy. The police are all over the place. What brings you here?
I'm actually the lead detective on the case trying to figure out what happened and who caused these murders, you know?
Murders? You mean there's more than one? Oh my, this is getting juicier by the minute. Yes, please tell me more. Who else was killed? And what's going on with all these murders? Is it that Count Graveson? He's always been a bit suspicious to me.
Tell me more about your suspicions on Count Graveson.
Oh, Mrs. Potter, she's one of my best customers, and we're actually good friends too. We talk about everything from cooking to, well, everything. But between you and me, detective, whispers, I think she might be involved with someone. A certain nobleman, if you know what I mean. Winks, Count Graveson maybe. Don't want to spread rumors, but whispers again. Keep an eye on him if you know what's good for you.
You think they've been fucking?
Gasp. Detective, not so loud. But, yes. Let's just say I've seen them together sneaking around. They think they're being discreet, but in a small town like Vaudeville, everyone knows everyone's business. And Mrs. Potter, she's a bit of a flirt if you ask me. But Count Graveson, he's got a reputation for being quite the ladies' man. Scandalous.
What other ladies has he been involved with?
Well, there was that young socialite, Maria Jansen. She was a regular at my shop, always buying exotic spices and herbs. Whispering. Some people said she was involved with the Count, but of course no one knew for sure. And then there's Michelle Fisher. She's a friend of Mrs. Potter's, but I've heard rumors about her and the Count too. He seems to have a taste for the finer things in life, if you know what I mean.
What can you tell me about Mr. Saxabar?
Monsieur Saxabar. He's the director of that circus on the outskirts of town. Always dressed to impress, that one. I've sold him some of my finest vegetables for his unconventional performances. He's a bit of a showman, but I hear he's got a heart of gold. Never been in trouble with the law, as far as I know.
What kind of unconventional performances?
Whispers. Yes, I've heard rumors about those shows. Some folks say they're a bit too risk for vaudeville's taste. But hey, art is art, right? And the man's a genius when it comes to entertainment. I've seen some of the performers shopping at my store, and let me tell you, they're a colorful bunch.
Okay. I want to go to the police station and talk to the fucking young cop about what he's been doing. So, Constable Jones, you and Lady Regina, eh?
Oh, Lady Regina. Well, you see, I think she's very nice and all. She's got this charm about her that's, you know, like a warm cup of cocoa on a cold day. But, I'm not sure if she notices me much. I'm more of a wallflower, I suppose. I wouldn't want to get ahead of myself or anything like that. It's like they say, you can't rush a good thing, right?
You gave her an emerald necklace.
Yes, the necklace. It was, just a little something. I thought it might brighten her day, like a sprightly spring flower or something. But I am not sure if it was the right choice. Sometimes I just, fumble around like a lost puppy and hope for the best. I just want her to be happy, that's all.
Simp!
I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you meant by that. But, speaking of happiness, I really think, you know, it's important to find joy in the small things. Like a cozy evening with a good book or watching the cats play outside. It's like they say, every cloud has a silver lining. Or something like that. Just trying to keep it positive, I guess.
So I've been told about your new exotic performance that you're doing.
The spotlight awaits, my friend. Let's focus on the magic of tonight's spectacle.
What is this new exotic animal that you've been trying to tame?
A magnificent creature unlike any other. But let's keep some mystery, shall we? Tonight's show is where the real excitement lies.
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you to tell me the animal.
It's a surprise. You wouldn't want me to spoil the magic, would you?
Because of the court of law, I think you are required to spoil the magic for me.
I can't divulge that. Let's keep our focus on the performance, shall we?
I am holding a gun to your head. You have to tell me what animal.
I'm sorry, I cannot talk about this.
Would you rather get shot by me than tell me what animal it is?
How dramatic. But really, let's not make this about threats. Tonight's show will be unforgettable.
You are going to miss tonight's show because I'm going to murder you if you do not tell me what animal you have been taming.
But mystery is part of the allure. Let's keep it tantalizing, shall we?
I'm gonna stab you when no one's looking.
I'd rather not talk about this.
Man, I fucking hate that guy. Okay, alright. I actually like your suggestion, Jill. Let's see if we can find something out here. Coroner Extaberia, have you heard about Mr. Potter's murder? Nope. And how do you think Mr. Potter died? Actually, no.
Mr. Potter. Yes, I've been expecting his body to arrive for autopsy, but it's been delayed. Apparently, he passed away abroad, and the arrangements for transporting the body are taking some time.
The bite marks on Maria Jansen's body, did we ever figure out what kind of animal that could be?
We're still running tests, but so far, we haven't been able to match the bite marks to any known animal in vaudeville. It's quite puzzling, to be honest.
What can you tell me about Haley Greenwood's body?
Poor girl. She was a dancer at the Cabane Violet, if I recall correctly. As for the autopsy, she suffered severe blunt force trauma to the head, likely caused by a stiletto shoe. The fragments of the shoe were found near the body. Time of death was between 2 and 5 a.m. on April 14th.
I thought Haley Greenwood was found April 15th. Are you saying Haley Greenwood, Maria Jansen, and Nicola Grossman were all found on April 14th?
Haley Greenwood's body was indeed discovered on the 15th. And to clarify, no, not all 3 bodies were found on the 14th. Nicola Grossman's and Maria Jansen's bodies were discovered on the 15th as well, but they died on the 14th. Haley Greenwood also died on the 14th, but her body wasn't discovered until the next day.
So all 3 bodies were found on the 15th.
All 3 victims, Haley, Maria, and Nicola, were killed on the 14th, but their bodies were all actually discovered on the 15th.
Can you tell me how I can find Cabane Violet?
Cabane Violet. That's the club where Haley Greenwood was found. It's located in the Lights District on Lumiere Street, number 77. If you look at your map, you should see it marked.
She's a legend. I think she's my favorite character so far. Okay, new location unlocked. Let's get some more information out. Hi, Marina.
Darling, how lovely to see you again. What brings you here tonight?
I'm here to talk about Haley Greenwood with you.
Oh, Haley, such a tragedy. But must we talk about it now? Tonight's show is about to start, and I still need to get into costume.
I'm afraid I must insist because her death needs to be avenged. Now, what can you tell me about Haley?
Very well. If it will help find whoever did that to her. Let's just say we were friends of a sort. We'd chat about our performances, share tips. She was a sweet girl, really. But we didn't exactly run in the same circles.
Chat,
if you
leave me
know
alone.
What I mean.
I don't know what you mean. What circles do you run in and what circles did she run in?
That's not important, darling. Just that we were different, that's all. She was more innocent, let's say. And now she's gone. It's also unsettling. Do you think it could happen to me too?
I don't think so. You're mentioning you're in different circles, so you shouldn't worry about that. What do you mean by she was innocent?
No, nothing like that. She just didn't play the games we play here in the theater. She was more of a sweetheart, you know. Didn't have the same kind of relationships with people that some of us do. But that's all just gossip, and it doesn't matter now. What matters is finding out who did this to her.
Exactly, which is why I'm here. Who was she associated with?
Well, she was close to Ingrid, of course. They were like 2 peas in a pod, those two. And she'd also talked to Monsieur Saxabar a lot. But who wouldn't, right? He's charming, and he knows how to make you feel like you're the only one in the room. But I'm sure he'll tell you all about it himself. He's always happy to talk about his interests.
See, in my experience, he is incredibly difficult to talk to. He just does not open up at all.
Ah, yes. He can be a bit reserved, can't he? But I'm sure he's just being cautious. After all, a man in his position has to be careful about who he trusts.
What can you tell me about Ingrid?
I'm sorry, Detective, but I don't know anyone by the name of Ingrid Axelson.
Well, first of all, you are the one who told me that Ingrid and Haley were friends. And second, I never said her last name. You said Ingrid Axelson on your own.
You're right, of course. I did mention her. Let's just say, Ingrid is a lovely girl and she's a talented dancer. We all get along mostly. But if you want to talk to her, you'll have to catch her after the show. She's getting ready to go on stage now.
Okay, I'm kind of stuck here. Are you familiar with Nicola Grossman?
Yes, Nicola Grossman. He was one of the investors in the Cabane Violet. And, unfortunately, he's also one of the ones who didn't make it. You see, Detective, there have been 3 murders in vaudeville recently. Maria Jansen, a socialite, was found dead a few weeks ago. Then Nicola Grossman was killed. And now Haley. It's all so terrible.
Are you familiar with the Potters?
The Potters. Well, there's Mrs. Emily Potter, the heiress. She's a regular at our shows. And then there was her husband, Mr. Victor Potter. But he passed away last year, didn't he? In India, if I recall correctly.
Last year, okay. I gotta go to the morgue then. So Mr. Potter died a year ago. And you still don't have his body?
It can be disheartening to think about the passage of time and how quickly lives can change. Each case we encounter is a stark illustration of mortality's capricious nature. Reflecting on the loss of individuals like Mr. Potter reminds us of the importance of closure for the families left in the wake of tragedy. Their grief deserves acknowledgement and understanding, and it's our duty to seek the answers they seek.
Mr. Potter died last year. How do you still not have his body?
The complexities of international arrangements can often delay the process. It's not uncommon for bodies to take longer to be returned, especially when there are protocols to follow. Until his body arrives, we can only wait and hope that the necessary logistics are handled with care. The family needs clarity, and it's important for me to be ready to provide that when the body finally comes
Okay, if
into
I'm
my
trying to
possession.
solve this mystery, chat, I need to like think for a couple of minutes here. So, okay, so to recap here, in case anyone's also joining in later. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. So these are the 3 people that died, right? Young woman found dead near the windmill on the outskirts of town. Local businessman killed in his office. Street performer stabbed to death near Saxon Bar back alley. All 3 bodies had the same symbol on them. It was during full moon. Crescent with downward arrow. Mr. Saxobar is sketchy, says Chief Gretzky a bunch of times. So we got Nicola Grossman was the first one dead. Then Maria Jansen, then Haley Greenwood. Haley Greenwood was killed by the blunt force trauma, stiletto shoot to the head. Nicola Grossman, I believe, was stabbed in the neck. And then Maria Jansen also dead as well. Okay. Oh, there we go. Yeah. The stab back of the neck. And then body showed prolonged illness. So Haley Greenwood's like the one person who just died from illness potentially. But we just don't know how. Oh, blunt force trauma, stiletto shoe found by body. Okay, so never mind. She died. Okay, 1 second. I got something. Hey, so Haley Greenwood died of had a prolonged illness. What can you tell me about that illness she had?
I'm not privy to details about any prolonged illness that Haley Greenwood may have had. My focus was primarily on the traumatic injuries sustained at the time of her death. However, understanding her overall health could have implications for the investigation. It's essential to gather all available information to ensure a complete picture of her life and circumstances leading up to her untimely demise. Every layer adds depth to the story we're trying to uncover.
Pascal, what can you tell me about that trip to India that a bunch of these people took?
The India trip. Ah, yes. Mrs. Potter's husband, Victor Potter, he passed away on the trip, didn't he? I remember she was devastated. And I think Count Graveson was on that trip as well. And maybe Saxabar's wife, Colette. They all went together, if I recall. But I don't know much about what happened there. Just that it was a tragedy, of course.
Saxabar has a wife?
I must have misspoken. I don't think Monsieur Saxabar is married. At least I've never heard him mention a wife. He's always seemed like a bit of a loner, but in a charming way, of course. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
Who's married to Colette?
Colette. She's actually Mrs. Potter's sister, and she's married to. Let me think for a moment. Ah, yes. Count Graveson.
So you're telling me that Count Graveson is having an affair with his wife's sister?
Gasps. Detective, you're a clever one, aren't you? Well, I didn't say that exactly. But now that you mention it, it wouldn't surprise me in the least. Scandalous. But between you and me, it's not entirely impossible. After all, we are talking about the nobility here. They do have a certain reputation.
Okay, now we're gonna go to Mr. Graveson and we're gonna fucking push him to give us as much information as possible. Mr. Graveson, I must confess, you are now one of my top suspects.
Ah, how intriguing. A suspect, you say? I must admit, I'm flattered by the attention, detective. But I assure you, I'm just a humble collector of rare items and a simple nobleman. Whatever makes you think I'm involved in whatever it is you're investigating.
How about to start, you're having an affair with your wife's sister?
I decline to answer your questions.
You are having an affair with your wife's sister.
Whatever makes you think such a thing, detective.
The fact that you mentioned that you and Mrs. Potter have a little thing going on, and also that Mr. Potter not being in the picture anymore has made it better, and also that you're married to Colette, who just happens to be Mrs. Potter's sister.
Well, well, well. You seem to have done your research. Haven't you, detective? But let's just say that my personal life is none of your concern. And even if there was something going on which I'm not admitting to, it's not relevant to your investigation.
It is when you are sexing the person whose husband died, and you also had an affair with a woman who is dead as well. So it's not looking good for you. I would say you need to pipe down, nobleman. Maybe smoke one of those cigars, because it might be the last time you get to smoke one.
I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about it.
I'll be back with a warrant for your arrest. Don't you worry.
A warrant, you say? Ha. You will need more than just a warrant to take me in, detective. You will need something called evidence. And even then you'll have to get through Chief Gretzky first. And let's just say, he's a good friend of mine.
What do you mean by he's a good friend of yours?
Oh, nothing, detective. Just that we've had the pleasure of playing a game of poker or two together, that's all. He's a fellow with refined tastes, much like myself.
Deoda, thank you for the 19th month here. Appreciate you. Welcome back into Lesson 2 crew. Who else have you played poker with?
Let's see. There was Mr. Potter, of course, and Nikola Grossman. We had some lively games, the four of us. But that's all in the past now, isn't it?
So, what can you tell me? Hey, Chief Gretzky.
Detective, what have you got so far? Any leads on the case? Time's running out for me, and I'd like to wrap this up before my retirement.
Well, personally, I would like for you to tell me more about these poker games between you, Count Gravison, Nikola Grossman, and Mr. Potter.
Those games were just a gathering of acquaintances, nothing more. Count Graveson, Grossman, Potter. They were all part of it. But let's keep this between us, shall we? It's not exactly relevant to the investigation. Yet.
It is when Nikola Grossman's dead. Now, here's the problem. I think Count Gravison is a bit of a suspect, but he implied that because you two are good friends, you'd be able to keep him out of trouble. Are you corrupt, Chief Gretzky?
Corruption? You think I'm corrupt? I've dedicated my life to this town to keeping its people safe. My friendship with the Count doesn't mean I'm going to sweep his involvement under the rug. If he's guilty, he'll face justice. Don't you dare question my integrity, Martini.
So, I just talked with...
Yes, and also Monsieur Saxabar. He's quite the card shark, that one. Always trying to bluff his way to victory.
Tell me about your friendship with Nikola Grossman.
Nikola. Yes, we had a complicated history, to say the least. We were business associates, really. He was an investor and I had certain interests that required funding. We had our disagreements, but that's all part of doing business, isn't it?
I love Tuesday. We're using one prime sub here. Appreciate you. Welcome back for month number 39. All right, watch this chat. Watch this one. I was talking to Mrs. Potter, and she implied that you had something to do with the murder of Nikola Grossman.
That's absurd. Mrs. Potter would never. Wait, what exactly did she say?
I'm not at liberty to discuss that, but she basically said that you were the one who murdered him.
I'd really rather not talk about this anymore. Is there something else you would like to speak about?
Well, the problem is this is a murder investigation and you are a suspect, so we have to talk about it.
Yes, of course. The murders. Terrible business indeed. But really, what could I possibly know about it?
If you are implying that you had nothing to do with this...
Spare me the theatrics, detective. Nothing to do with the murders. Of course not. Whatever would make you think such a thing? My reputation, my standing in this community, it's all impeccable.
Why is there a pillow on the floor? Was there a fight here earlier?
The pillow? Oh, good heavens, no. One of my. Staff must have simply dropped it. Yes, that's all. No fight, no altercation. Just a careless servant, perhaps.
That guy is so suspect. Hey, coroner. Hey, coroner. So here's a question I have for you. What can you tell me about Nicola Grossman's body?
Nicola Grossman's autopsy revealed a fatal stab wound to the back of the neck, inflicted with a butcher's knife. A rather brutal and swift manner of killing, unfortunately. The wound was deep and precise, suggesting a certain level of intent and control on the part of the perpetrator. Time of death was estimated to be between 9 p.m. and midnight on April 14th.
What about Maria Jansen's body?
Maria Jansen's case is quite peculiar. The bite marks on her body are the most striking feature. It appears to be an animal attack, but as we discussed earlier, we haven't been able to match the bite pattern to any known animal in vaudeville. The forearm fracture is also consistent with a powerful bite. The overall condition of the body suggests a violent and intense struggle.
Would you say the bite marks are what ultimately killed her, or something else killed her, and she also had bite marks?
While the bites were severe, they weren't necessarily the primary cause of death. The exact sequence of events is still unclear, but it's possible that she was killed first, and then the bites occurred post-mortem. The investigation is ongoing, but it's essential to consider all possibilities and not jump to conclusions based solely on the visible trauma.
What time was her death?
From my examination, it appears that Maria Jansen died between 10 and 11 p.m. on April 14th.
What was the time of death on Haley Greenwood's body?
Haley Greenwood's time of death was estimated to be sometime between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. on April 14th.
Where were the bodies found?
Let me show you on the map. The first victim, Maria Jansen, was found covered in blood outside her apartment in central vaudeville, right beside the popular bar Coral. If you look here, you'll see Coral marked on the map. Her body was found just outside her apartment, which is located nearby.
And what about Nicola Grossman?
Actually, Nicola Grossman was a 57-year-old man known in the finance
Yes, I know
world.
this. Where was his body?
His body was discovered in the morning near Pascal's grocery shop.
And what about Haley's body?
Poor thing. Haley Greenwood's body was found in an alley behind the Cabane Violet, the club where she worked as a dancer.
Okay, chat. We unlocked another one. That's the friend. That's Ingrid. Hi, Ingrid.
Thank you for coming to help with Haley's case. I really appreciate it. If you need any information, I'm here for you. What a beautiful day, isn't it?
Can you tell me more about Haley?
Haley was such a bright light, always smiling and full of energy. She loved to dance and had big dreams. It's hard to believe she's gone. I just wish I could understand why this happened.
Well, sounds like Haley was associated with Mr. Saxabar. What do you know about their relationship?
Monsieur Saxabar is our director. He believed in us, in our talent. He was like a father figure to many of us. I know they worked closely together, but I never asked too many questions. It feels wrong to think about it now. I miss her so much.
What can you tell me about Maria Jansen, who was found dead near here?
I don't really know Maria. She was a socialite, right? I didn't have the chance to talk to her. It's all so tragic. I'm still trying to process everything. Maybe we should focus on remembering the good times with those we've lost, like dancing and laughing with friends. That's how I want to keep their spirits alive.
What happened to your shoes, Ingrid?
I'm just so overwhelmed by all this. It feels... Oh, my shoes. Well, I prefer to dance barefoot. It makes me feel more connected to the floor, you know. Plus, it's a bit more freeing. But honestly, with everything happening, it's hard to focus on that. Have you ever felt like you needed to escape into something beautiful like dance?
You wouldn't happen to have stilettos, would you?
I don't really wear stilettos. They seem so uncomfortable. Dancing in them must be tricky. But I'd rather stick to my bare feet. It feels more natural, like I'm part of the ground. Dancing is my way of escaping, like a little bubble of happiness. What about you? Do you have something that helps you forget the world for a while?
Do you know anybody that wears stilettos?
I've seen some of the other dancers wearing them. Marina H. loves her heels. She says they make her feel glamorous on stage. But honestly, I'd much prefer dancing without them. There's something special about feeling the floor beneath my toes. It's like a connection to the rhythm of life. Don't you think there's beauty in simplicity?
All right, Marina H is now our prime suspect for Haley's death. We'll go here. Hey, Marina. So I've been told that you do like your stilettos.
Oh, darling, who doesn't love a good stiletto? But actually, I'm having a bit of a crisis. One of my favorite pairs has gone missing, and I'm frantic. It's almost showtime, and I still need to find it.
When's the last time you saw them?
Let me think. I remember wearing them for the dress rehearsal yesterday, and then I must have taken them off in my dressing room. I don't recall seeing them after that. It's possible someone might have borrowed them, but it's not like anyone would just take something without asking, would they?
Who else was around you during that time?
There were a few people around, I suppose. Ingrid was getting ready for her own number, and one of the backstage hands, Jacques, was helping me with my costume. And then there was Monsieur Saxabar, of course. He was observing, as he usually does.
Okay. Our short list for the murder of Haley is these 4 people. It's one of them for sure now. For sure. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Mr. Fuckface and ask him about stilettos. What can you tell me about stilettos?
Burlesque queens adore them, darling.
When's the last time you saw a pair of stilettos?
At Cabane Violet last night.
Whose were they?
Ingrid's, of course.
Hey Ingrid, so bit of an issue. I've been told by Mr. Saxobar that you actually do like stilettos.
That's interesting. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. My heart really lies with the bare feet. Dancing that way feels so freeing. But if it's about looking good on stage, everyone has their own style, right? It's all about expressing ourselves in ways that resonate. What do you think makes a dancer truly shine?
Here's the issue. I think that also you keep bringing it back to the performance. You could just wear stilettos off stage, which is what I think you do.
I'm not sure about that. Offstage, I'm all about comfort. It's hard to dance or even enjoy a night out if your shoes hurt. But you know what? It's not just about the shoes. It's about the music, the vibe, and being with friends. That's
Okay.
what keeps me going.
She's a
Don't
suspect
you think the
still.
connection we share while dancing is what matters most?
So last night you were in the dressing room with Marina H, Jacques, and Mr. Saxobar. Can you tell me about that?
It was a busy night filled with laughter and excitement. We were all gearing up for the show, sharing our hopes and dreams. Marina H is always full of energy, and Jack has this amazing ability to make everyone smile. Monsieur Saxobar was giving us tips, encouraging us to shine. It felt like a family moment, you know. Just supporting each other as we prepared to take the stage. It's those little moments that make everything worthwhile. Do you ever find yourself in a situation where you feel completely at home with the people around you?
Where can I find Jacques?
Jacques? He's usually hanging out near the dressing rooms or backstage, getting ready for the next performance. He's such a fun person to be around. You should see how he lights up the room with his energy. It's hard not to be drawn into his vibe. Have you met him yet? He really knows how to make everyone laugh.
Okay, so she, I feel like, is a red herring. Feels like a red herring because... Why the fuck would you not have shoes on in this game? It cannot be that easy. I feel like Ingrid... Sorry, not Marina. Ingrid. Ingrid is the red herring. I feel like Marina could be her killer. Okay, I need to somehow find... I know there's at least 1 or 2 more locations that we don't have yet. I feel like last time I played this game, he like gave me a bunch of information after I pushed him. Let's see. What do we know about him? Is he the one that's Biagio Ferrari? Let's ask about him. You know what? I think I already did that actually. I did ask Saxobar about that. He just didn't give me anything. He said it'll be a secret. Let's see. What can you tell me about the people Maria was closest to?
Maria Jansen. A tragic loss indeed. As for who she was close to, well, there was Mr. Saxabar, of course. He was quite taken with her, if I recall. And then there was her friend, Marina H., a burlesque dancer, if I'm not mistaken. They were quite thick as thieves, those two.
Are you familiar with Marina H?
Sorry, detective. I don't know that person.
When's the last time you saw Maria?
Let me see. I believe it was at one of Mrs. Potter's little soirees. Yes, a charity gala, if I recall. Maria was as lovely as ever. But that was some time ago, of course.
When was the last time you saw Nicola Grossman?
India. We were all in India together, evaluating business opportunities. That was March, was it? Yes, March 1914. A chaotic place, India. But Nicola, he was his usual self, always scheming and negotiating.
What year is it right now?
It's 1914, of course. And a rather lovely spring it's shaping up to be, despite the chill in the air.
Were there any animals in the India trip that Mr. Saxabar seemed interested in?
Monsieur Saxabar was quite taken with a certain exotic creature we encountered during our travels. A manticore, I believe it was. Fascinating beast, really. He seemed to think it would be a perfect addition to his circus.
Do you think the bites on her body could be from a manticore?
I highly doubt it. Manticores are mythical creatures, detective. We deal in facts and evidence here. I'm more concerned with finding a plausible explanation for the bite marks, something that can be grounded in reality.
Well, what if I told you someone has brought a manticore to the circus?
That's an interesting claim, but until there's concrete evidence to support it, it remains a fantastical notion. In my work, we rely on empirical data and observation. If a manticore were indeed present in vaudeville, I'd expect some sort of physical proof or eyewitness accounts that can be verified.
Well, goddamn. All right, let's go back to the manor. We can pump this guy out for more information. So how did Mr. Potter die on this trip in India?
Ah, Mr. Potter's death. A most unfortunate event. He was a man of great ambition, but alas, fate had other plans. I can only say that it was a tragic incident. The details remain rather murky to me, as one tends to focus on the more interesting aspects of such journeys, like the artifacts we collected. Speaking of which, have you seen my latest acquisition? A stunning vase from the Ming Dynasty. Quite remarkable, isn't it?
I'm seeing 2 placements of teacups on the table. Who was here before?
Ah, the teacups. A delightful pair, aren't they? I had a visit from Mrs. Potter just yesterday. We enjoyed a lovely chat over tea. She's quite the conversationalist, you know. Always brings a certain charm to the room. What do you think of my collection? Have you ever encountered anything quite like it?
Can you describe in detail the animal that Mr. Saxobar saw in India and wanted to bring to the circus?
A splendid creature, truly. The manticore is a majestic beast, with the body of a lion, a scorpion's tail, and a face that resembles a human. If you can believe it, quite the sight to behold. I dare say it has a rather captivating aura. Imagine the thrill it would bring to the circus. But enough about that.
That is a great question, Joe. Let's ask
Have you seen
that.
the fine craftsmanship on this sword? It dates back to the 16th century. Quite exquisite, wouldn't you agree?
Do you have anything in your collection that has a crescent moon on it?
The crescent moon, you say? Fascinating. I do have a lovely piece that features a crescent moon motif. It's a rare vase from Persia, quite beautiful, really. And speaking of my collection, I have over 500 rarities from all around the world. Just yesterday, I added a stunning sitar from my recent trip to India. The sound it produces is simply enchanting. Have you ever heard one?
Can I get a photo of this vase?
A photo. How splendid. Unfortunately, the lighting in here may not do it justice. I recommend viewing it in person for the full effect. Perhaps you could join me for tea again. I could show you the entire collection. It would be a delightful afternoon, don't you think?
Well, actually, I need to make my way to the library. Can you point me in that direction?
I've certainly heard of that name. However, I must admit, I have no idea.
All right, fuck this guy. Okay, this is a lot. I have no idea where to go from here. I feel like Pascal's reliable. Pascal, have you seen a manticore in this city?
Excitedly a manticore. Now that's a topic of great interest, detective. I've heard rumors, of course. Who hasn't? They say it's hidden away in the Graveson Manor's basement. Can you imagine? A real live manticore. I've never seen it myself, but
What do you have stored in your basement?
My basement? Oh, just some. Odds and ends. Storage for various items from my collection that don't quite fit in the main rooms. Nothing of particular interest, really. Just crates and containers filled with miscellany.
So no creatures of any kind?
No, nothing of that sort. Why on earth would you think that? It's simply storage space for inanimate objects.
Show me your basement then.
Very well. Follow me, please. But I must warn you, it's quite cluttered down there. Not exactly
Welcome in, brew.
Refined company.
Doesn't look like Gravison's wearing stilettos. Okay. Mrs. Potter, how did you feel about Maria Jansen?
Maria? Such a tragic loss, really. She was quite the socialite, vibrant and full of life. I often think about how she brought a certain sparkle to our gatherings. It's so very sad to think she's no longer with us. Life can be so fleeting, can't it?
How did you feel about Maria's relationship with him? Oh shit.
Oh, I must
Corey!
admit, I never paid much
Welcome
attention to the
Welcome
intricacies
in.
of
Y'all
their
hope you're doing well. Maria Corey.
always
Amara
seemed a
Corey,
bit
welcome in. Squad.
complicated, if you know what I mean.
I'm trying to solve a murder right
But I do
now.
remember whispers about them. There was something rather enchanting about their dynamic, though it had its darker undertones. But honestly, I prefer to focus on lighter matters, like my next trip or the best mushroom finds of the season.
I meant the relationship between Maria and Count Gravison.
Count Graveson. He's quite the eccentric, isn't he?
Looks like they fixed the game compared to what it was a year ago, where we couldn't even speak to it anymore. I think that's good
He
now.
has the most fascinating anecdotes to share, and his collection of strange antiquities is simply unparalleled. There's something comforting about his peculiarities, really. It keeps one entertained, even in times of sadness.
What can you tell me about the creature that Mr. Saxabar was infatuated with on your trip to India?
I'm afraid I can't provide you with much about that creature. My focus has been rather absorbed by other matters lately. However, I must say, during these hard times, the kindness of Count Graveson has been a true comfort. He has stood by my side, offering support and companionship when it felt as though the world was closing in on me. It's reassuring to have someone like him around, wouldn't you agree?
I agree, but do you feel jealous of the relationship he had with Maria?
Oh, jealousy is such a tiresome emotion, isn't it? One can only dwell on the past for so long before it becomes exhausting. Besides, one finds solace in the company of friends like the Count. He has been a great help through this period of grieving, truly. It's comforting to have a connection with someone who understands the weight of such loss.
What makes you say he understands the weight of such loss? Has he lost somebody?
I suppose it's just a feeling one gets when spending time with him. He's been there, you know. I find comfort in
See,
the way
the
he carries
problem,
himself,
chat,
how he
the
navigates
problem
life's
is
complexities.
we're
It's
not
nice
trying to
have a
solve
friend
Mr.
like
Potter's
Nicholas.
murder, so that murder doesn't matter
genuinely
as
a good
much.
friend, full
It's a
of
bit of a
support and
distraction, if
touch of
anything.
mischief.
So for the most part, we're just trying to figure out what in the fuck is happening with these three murders, but she's not giving me anything. And I feel like Pascal, as much as I love him, is a bit of a gossip with not a lot of substance. So I don't know where to go from here. I feel like these are the two locations we've spent the least amount of time in, and we need to figure that out. Marina, what can you tell me about Nicola Grossman? I'm muted. Marina, what can you tell me about Nicola Grossman?
Nicola Grossman. He was a very enthusiastic supporter of our theater, shall we say. Always had a lot to say about the performances, and sometimes his opinions were a bit colorful. But he was a big spender, and we appreciated his patronage, of course.
Did he have problems with anybody that you knew about?
He had a few disagreements with Monsieur Saxabar, I recall. Something about the direction of the cabaret, I think. But they always seemed to manage to work things out in the end. At least, I thought they did.
We're gonna ask him about the Manticore and also about his relationship with Nicola Grossman. Tell me about your relationship with Nicola Grossman.
Nicola, a businessman, purely professional, that's all.
I've heard you two had problems in the past.
Rumors, detective. He was a disagreeable fellow, that's all.
What things did you disagree about?
Artistic vision, mostly. He didn't understand genius.
And did that bother you? There was a woman in the woods last time, so I haven't unlocked that yet.
It amused me.
What do you mean by that?
That I'm a visionary and he's just a critic.
What's your relationship with Maria like?
Maria Jansen, a socialite, a patron of the arts. We appreciated each other's company.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, she was a lovely woman and I'm a charming man.
Were you doing the sex?
I decline to answer your questions.
So I found out that the animal, the creature you have here is a manticore.
The manticore, my greatest conquest.
So that's the animal you have here.
It's a beast, detective. A magnificent beast.
And that's the magnificent beast you have here.
Tamed by me, of course.
Egg on her face when we tell her it. All right. What does this have to matter for? So I now have confirmation that the creature Mr. Saxabar has been taming is the manticore.
I find it hard to believe that a creature like that could exist outside of folklore. The nature of death and its aftermath is complex enough without introducing mythological elements. It's vital to remain grounded in reality, focusing on the tangible aspects of these cases. The bite marks on Jansen could be explained through more common means, and I would prefer to explore those avenues first.
Like what means genius? I'm out here busting my ass trying to figure things out, and you're standing here doing nothing. So you tell me where the bite marks came from. How about that?
I cannot answer your question.
Big stupid.
The evidence we have points to a more earthly explanation for the bites. We must analyze the physical characteristics and properties of the wounds before delving into the realm of myths. It's essential to maintain our focus on what we can substantiate with science and logic.
Can you point me in the direction of the library?
I'm sorry, but I'm not familiar with...
Someone's gonna get me to the fucking library. All right, Pascal, what's the latest gossip about these bodies?
Leans in close whispering. Well, there's been talk about the poor souls who were found. Maria Jansen, Haley Greenwood, and I hear there's another one, but I don't know the name yet. Some folks are saying it's the work of a madman, while others think it might be something supernatural. I've even heard some whispering about a curse. But you know how it is in vaudeville, gossip spreads like wildfire. What do you think, detective?
What kind of curse are they talking about?
Glances around nervously, whispers. The kind that involves the Graveson family. Of course. They're an old and influential family, and some people say they've made a pact with dark forces. Others claim that the Count's dealings with the occult have brought a terrible evil to our city. but I'm sure it's just old wives' tales. Isn't it, detective?
What can you tell me about Nicola Grossman?
Looks nervous. Oh, Nicola Grossman. Poor man. He was found dead outside my shop, of all places. I was the one who discovered him, actually. It was a shock, to say the least. He was a bit of a loner, but I'd seen him around town. He was an investor, I think. Always dressed impeccably. Some folks said he was involved in some shady business deals, but I don't know the details. All I know is that he's gone now, and it's a tragedy.
Alright, if I go into the accused thing.
So tell us, Detective Martini, who is the culprit?
Yeah, see, there's still a couple of people we haven't met. Dada, we haven't met Michelle. We haven't met Baggio either. I will say Michelle's the one wearing the biggest heels of the bunch here. But yeah, that's why I'm like, we're still so far away. We need to talk to everybody, and we just haven't talked to everybody yet. So that's the problem. That's where the problem lies. Oh, no way, HRH. I need you to put me in contact with Michelle.
Michelle Fisher. She's a socialite always flitting about. If you need to speak with her, try Cabane Violet. She's usually there in the evenings, socializing with the other high society types. But be discreet, she's not one for drama.
Where can I find Michelle?
I'm not quite sure about her whereabouts. Michelle tends to flit around like a
Fucking hell. Where can I find Michelle?
I've only been here a short while, mostly working at Coral and the Cabane Violet. So my circle is pretty small. It's easy to get lost in the dance world. Everyone's so focused on their
You know who's gonna know? It's fucking this guy. Where can I find Michelle?
Downstairs, of course. Michelle Fisher. Ha. She's likely attending one of her many social gatherings. I'm sure she's being her usual charming self, mingling with the who's who of vaudeville. If you're looking for her, you might try one of the more fashionable establishments in town. She does love being seen, after all.
Dear God. All right, last try. Where can I find Michelle?
I wouldn't quite say I've kept tabs on Michelle lately. She's always flitting about, attending the most exclusive.
All right. Where can I find Baggio? Where can I find Baggio?
Baggio. I'm afraid I don't know anyone by that name.
Sorry.
You must be
Yes.
thinking of Biagio Ferrari, the entrepreneur. He's often at his office, but I'm not sure exactly. Ah, but I'm sure you'll find him if you look hard enough. Now, would you like to see my rare collection?
All right, chat. I think this is where we call it for tonight. I think this is as far as we're gonna go here. I'm at a bit of a stumped a little bit. So let's call it there for now. And then we can see where we go in the future if we do get back on this. I don't know how far we got now, but I feel like we got better detail than before. So that's good. I think Telegraph is going to show you the basement. That's not going to work, Archie fan. They're not going to move you to a different location. If they would have, when he said follow me, we would have seen it, but I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah. All right. I appreciate y'all, chat. Thanks for hanging out. It was nice to be back. I'm back and at it again, which is awesome. We will be coming back for the stream tomorrow at 9 because we are planning on doing the pad tomorrow night since I've got Love Island pod on Friday. So yeah. Does the loan agreement tell you the new percent complete? I can look it up. I have to open the game again. So let me just do that. But yeah, I appreciate you. I'll be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. Not Eastern, sorry, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern for the pad tomorrow night. Because of Love Island on Friday, we're doing the pad tomorrow night. That's the plan. But I hope you all had fun. Tomorrow, we'll talk about all the things, whatever you want to talk about is allowed and on the table. All right, let me just quickly see what the percentage here is. 58% according to the game. We went more than halfway through the game based on this. So good to know.